She was his best friend's wife. Until the storm made them cross the line. I don't even know why I answer her video call that late. Maybe because some part of me already knows what she's going to say, like the silence before a storm when the sky bruises purple and you can taste rain in the air. Her name lights up my screen and suddenly it feels like my chest forgets how to move. I swipe to answer, and there she is, framed in the dull glow of a single lamp behind her, hair tangled, mascara smudged like ink stains down her cheeks. She's beautiful in the way heartbreak is, raw, unpolished, almost violent. "Hey," I whisper. Though I'm not sure why I'm whispering, it's just the way her eyes look, like something sacred is breaking, and I don't want to shatter it any further. She exhales slowly, like dragging air through water, and then she says, the words that pull the floor out from under me. "We broke up." My pulse spikes. It shouldn't feel like this. It shouldn't feel like relief, tangled up with rage and something I don't want to name. I sit up straighter on my bed, phone trembling slightly in my grip. "What happened?" I ask, even though I already know. I've seen the hints, the vague posts, the way her texts slowed down like fading echoes. She laughs, a brittle sound that doesn't reach her eyes. "What didn't happen?" She wipes at her cheek with the heel of her hand, smearing the black streak further, and my stomach twists. God, if I could just reach through this screen and pull her into my arms. If I could press my lips to that, place just below her ear where her breath always hitches. "Stop. Don't go there." "He cheated," she says flatly, like the words are a language she's only just learning, one that doesn't fit in her mouth. The air in my room thickens. I grip the edge of the blanket like it can anchor me because the thought of him touching her, even in betrayal, makes something sharp lodge under my ribs. "Drunk," she adds after a moment, voice breaking on the word. He says, it was because he was drinking. The excuse hangs there like a rotten thing, and for a beat, all I can do is stare at her, the slump of her shoulders, the faint quiver in her lower lip. And behind all of that, the girl I've known for years, the girl I've loved in secret, the girl who deserves more than this mess. "Drinking?" I repeat, my voice low, careful, because if I let the real words out, coward, liar, bastard, I'll never get them back. She nods, eyes glossy. "Apparently he's an alcoholic. I didn't even know." She lets out this hollow laugh, shaking her head. 2 years living together and I didn't know. Isn't that insane? I want to say yes. I want to tell her it's insane and that she deserves someone who doesn't need an excuse, someone who would crawl through fire just to make her smile again, someone like me. But all that comes out is, none of that's your fault. Her gaze flickers up to the camera, and for a second, it feels like she's looking straight into me. Everyone says I should, give him another chance. Because addiction is... She cuts herself off, biting down on the words, and then her chin trembles. I don't know what to do. And there it is, the part that scares me more than anything. Because if everyone around her is telling her to stay, to forgive him, to swallow her own pain for the sake of his redemption arc, then what chance do I have? "Do you want to?" I ask softly, leaning closer to the screen like I can pull her into this question, hold her steady inside it. "Do you want to forgive him?" Her eyes fill so fast it's like watching glass crack. "I don't even know who I am right now," she whispers. Something inside me caves. I close my eyes for half a breath because if I look at her too long, I'll say everything I've buried for years. How I used to stay awake replaying the sound of her laugh. How every guy she dated felt like an intruder in a story that should have been ours. When I open them again, she's still there, smudged eyeliner, fragile as spun sugar. And I can't stop my voice from breaking just a little when I say, "You don't owe him forgiveness. Not for this." Her breath catches, and for a second, silence stretches between us like a tightrope. Then she nods, once, like she's tucking that sentence somewhere deep. I want to ask her 1,000 things. What did he say? Did he beg? Did you cry? But I don't. Instead, I just watch the way the lamp halo gilds the tips of her hair, the way her lips part like she's about to say something and then thinks better of it. Finally, she whispers, I just wish you were here. The words hit like a match to dry paper. Quick, bright, consuming. I wish that too. I breathe before I can stop myself. Her smile. God, it's small and broken, but it's real. And it undoes me completely. Remember that summer? She says, voice soft, far away now. When we stayed up all night on your roof just talking? My chest aches like a bruise. I remember everything, the heat sticking to our skin, the way her laughter spilled out like champagne, and how badly I wanted to kiss her while the stars burned holes in the sky. Yeah, I say, and it comes out like a confession. She looks down, lashes shadowing her cheeks, and then the screen shifts as she curls deeper into her blanket. I miss that. I miss us. I swallow hard because there's something in her voice that feels like an opening, and if I step through it, I don't know if I can ever come back. Before I can answer, she yawns, soft, unguarded, and says, Sorry, I'm exhausted. I just needed to hear your voice. Needed, not wanted. I tell myself that like a mantra as I force a smile. I'm here, I say, always. She nods, a sleepy curve of lips, and then the call ends, leaving me staring at my own reflection in the black mirror of the screen, heart pounding like it wants to break out of my chest. And all I can think over and over is, I should be there. Not him. Me. I don't sleep that night. Not a second. Not after those words. I just wish you were here. They loop through my head like a song that won't let go, like something stitched into my skin. I stare at the ceiling in the dark, replaying the way her voice broke when she said it, the way her eyes glimmered with something I couldn't name, or maybe something I was too scared to believe in. By morning, my decision is made. It doesn't feel impulsive when I open the airline app. It feels inevitable, like gravity, like every mile between us has been pulling me toward her for years. I don't even text her first. I just book the flight, pack a bag, and leave before I can talk myself out of it. The airport is chaos, rolling. Suitcases and voices over loudspeakers, but all I hear is her laugh echoing in my memory, soft and broken like sea glass. My hands shake when I hold my boarding pass, not from nerves exactly, but from something bigger, heavier, like the whole weight of this decision is pressing into my spine. 3 hours later, I'm in her city. It smells different, warmer, sharper. The kind of air that hums against your skin, sticky with late summer heat. My heart is a wild, frantic thing as the cab pulls up in front of her building, and for a second I just sit there, fingers clenched tight around the door handle, trying to breathe past the ache in my chest. Because what if this is a mistake? What if she looks at me like I've crossed a line I can't uncross? But then I think about her voice on that call. I just wish you were here, and that's enough. I take the elevator up, each floor rising like a drumbeat in my ears. By the time I'm standing outside her door, I can feel my pulse in my fingertips. I knock before I can hesitate. There's a pause, a shuffle of feet, and then the door swings open. And there she is, barefoot, drowned in an oversized shirt that hangs off one shoulder, exposing the curve of her collarbone. Her hair is a mess of waves, eyes wide and startled like a deer caught in sunlight. For a moment, she just stares, and then her hand flies to her mouth. "Oh my God," she breathes. What are you—" "I'm here," I say, my voice low, rough around the edges. "Like you wanted." Her lips part, but no sound comes out. Her gaze drags over me, slow, like she's not sure I'm real, and then, suddenly, she's moving, throwing her arms around me so hard I stumble back a step. The smell of her hits me first, warm, sweet, like vanilla and something floral, and it's dizzying. Her cheek presses against my neck, her breath hot on my skin, and every nerve in my body lights up like it's been waiting for this moment forever. "You're insane," she murmurs into my shoulder, but there's a smile in, her voice trembling and soft. "You actually came." "I told you," I whisper, my hands sliding to her waist before I can stop them, fingers curling against the soft cotton of her shirt. "I'm always here." She pulls back just enough to look at me, and God, she's so close I can count every gold fleck in her eyes. "I can't believe you did this," she says, shaking her head, but her lips curve like she's trying not to smile too wide. "Believe it," I murmur. "Because if I say anything else, anything like, 'I'd cross oceans for you, I'll ruin everything.'" She steps aside then, letting me in, and the door clicks shut behind us. Her apartment is dim, the blinds drawn against the late afternoon sun. There's a half-empty bottle of wine on the counter, 2 glasses, a blanket thrown carelessly over the couch. "Were you—" I glance at the glasses, and something tightens in my chest. "Were you with someone?" Her brow furrows like I just spoke another language. "No, God, no, just me." She bites her lip, and then, almost shyly, "I couldn't sleep last night either." The words settle between us like a live wire. I set my bag down, trying to steady my breath, but it's useless because she's right there, and every inch of me is tuned to her, the sway of her hair as she moves, the soft pad of her bare feet on the hard wood. "Do you want something to drink?" she asks, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, and I swear my knees almost give out because that small gesture, the curl of her fingers, the tilt of her head, is so achingly familiar it hurts. "Sure," I manage, my voice rough. She pours 2 glasses, and when she hands me mine, her fingers brush mine, just barely. It's nothing. It's everything. We sit on the couch, close but not touching. The silence hums, alive, until she says, "Everyone thinks I'm crazy for not taking him back." I grip the stem of my glass so hard I'm afraid it'll snap. "You're not crazy," I say, sharper than I mean to. Her head turns, eyes locking, on mine, and I force my tone softer. "You're not. You don't owe him that." Her gaze lingers, heavy, searching. "You're the only one who says that." Maybe I'm the only one who's right. The air shifts then, thick, electric. She's looking at me like she's seeing something she never let herself see before, and it's unraveling me from the inside out. I set my glass down before I do something reckless, like spill it, just to feel her fingers on mine again. She does. The same, and now our hands are empty, resting on our knees, an inch apart. 1 inch. That's all. Her breath catches. A tiny sound, but I hear it like a siren. And when her pinky grazes mine, my whole body goes still. She doesn't move away. Glance down at her hand, then up at her face and the look in her eyes. God, it's like gravity, pulling me closer, daring me to fall. I lift my hand, slow, careful, and brush a loose strand of hair from her face. My fingers linger against her temple, then slide down, tracing the curve of her jaw. Her skin is warm, impossibly soft. She exhales, like she's been holding her breath for hours. "Don't," she whispers, but it's not a warning. It's a plea with no conviction, and it makes something deep in me break wide open. I lean in, just a fraction, just enough to feel the heat of her breath on my lips, and then she pulls back. Quick, sharp, like the world just snapped back into place. She stands abruptly, wrapping her arms around herself. "I can't." My chest caves in on itself, but I swallow the ache, forcing my voice steady. "You don't have to explain." She nods without looking at me, and for a long moment, the only sound is the soft hum of the fridge in the next room. Then she says, barely audible, "I just need some time." And I nod, even though every nerve in me is screaming because I'll give her anything she asks for, even if it kills me. Morning comes soft and golden, spilling through the blinds like honey. I wake on the couch, tangled in the throw blanket, my neck stiff from the angle I slept in. For a moment, I don't know where I am. And then I hear it, the quiet clink of a spoon against a mug, the whisper of bare feet on tile. Her. I turn my head, and there she is in the kitchen. Sunlight pours over her like a secret, hair messy, one shoulder bare where the collar of her shirt slips low. She's making coffee, and it feels intimate. Like this isn't her apartment, like it's ours. For a second, I just watch the way she moves, slow and almost tender, like she's trying not to wake the morning. The steam curls up from the mugs, and when she lifts her hand to push a strand of hair behind her ear, I want to cross the room, catch her wrist, and kiss that place where her pulse beats, steady and warm. "Hey," I say, my voice still rough from sleep. She glances over her shoulder, and when she smiles, something catches in my chest. "Hey," she says softly, and it feels like a secret only I get to keep. "Sorry," I murmur, sitting up, running a hand through my hair. "Didn't mean to crash on your couch." "You didn't crash," she says, pouring coffee into a mug. "I told you to stay." "Yeah, you did. You told me to stay, and God help me. I want to believe it meant more than just the night." She carries the mugs over and hands one to me. Her fingers brush mine again, barely there, but enough to send a spark up my arm. "Thanks," I manage, trying not to sound as wrecked as I feel. She sits on the other end of the couch, tucking her legs under her, and the blanket shifts between us like a fragile truce. We sip in silence for a while, the air thick with everything. "We're not saying..." Her eyes flick to mine now and then, like she's checking to make sure I'm real. And every time, I have to look away before I do something stupid. Finally, she sets her mug down and says, "I kept thinking about last night." My throat tightens. "Yeah?" "Yeah." She twists the hem of her shirt between her fingers, and for the first time since I got here, she looks nervous, vulnerable. I'm sorry if I made things weird." I stare at her. "You didn't." Her eyes lift to mine, searching. "Didn't I?" I shake my head, slow, because if I open my mouth right now, I'll spill everything. I've been holding back for years, that I've wanted her since the first night we stayed up on my roof talking about nothing and everything, her laugh spilling like light over the dark. That every guy she's ever dated has felt like an intermission in a play I was supposed to star in with her. She exhales, the sound shaky, and whispers, I feel like I'm losing myself. Everyone's telling me what I should do, who I should forgive, and Her voice breaks, and she bites her lip hard like she's holding back tears. I set my mug down and shift closer before I can think better of it. Close enough to feel the heat rolling off her skin. "Hey," I murmur, my hand hovering near hers. "You don't have to listen to them. Not one damn person. You get to choose." Her lashes flutter, and when she looks at me, her eyes are wet and wild, like the sea in a storm. "Do you know what it's like," she says, voice trembling, "to wake up every day and feel like you're not enough? Like if you were better, he wouldn't have..." She chokes on the words, shaking her head. "Stop," I say, fierce now. My hand finds hers before I can stop it, fingers closing around hers tight. "Don't you dare do that to yourself. You are enough. God, you're more than enough." Her breath stutters, and then she laughs, broken and small. "You always say the right thing, because it's the truth." My voice drops, low and rough, because I can't hold it in anymore. "If he couldn't see that, he's a fool." She looks at me then, really looks. And it feels like something in the room tilts, like gravity just shifted toward her. Her fingers tighten around mine, and when she whispers, "What if I'm just broken and you're a bandage?" It guts me. I shake my head, slow, deliberate. "You're not broken." My free hand lifts almost without permission, brushing a tear from her cheek. "And I'm not a bandage." Her breath catches. Her eyes flick to my mouth, and everything inside me goes still. The world narrows to the space between us, the heat of her skin, the thud of my pulse, the way her lips part like a question she's afraid to ask. "Tell me to stop," I whisper, even though I'm praying she won't. She doesn't, not at first. She just sits there, breathing hard, her gaze locked on mine like we're both standing on the edge of something we can't come back from. And then finally, soft, broken, she says, "I can't. It's all I need." I lean in, slow, giving her time, giving myself time. But God, every inch feels like a lifetime. My hand slides to the back of her neck, fingers tangling in her hair, and when her breath hits my lips, I swear I forget how to breathe. And then her phone rings. The sound slices through the moment like glass shattering. We both freeze. The screen lights up on the coffee table, and when I see his name glowing there, my stomach twists so hard I almost gag. She jerks back like she's been burned, dragging her hands from mine, eyes wide with panic. I have to," she snatches. Up the phone, stands, turns away. I sit there, pulse roaring in my ears, watching her shoulders hunch as she answers. Her voice is low, clipped. "What do you want?" A pause. "No, I told you." Another pause, longer this time. And then she says, softer now, "I don't know. I can't listen. I can't sit here and hear him pull her back into the gravity of everything she's trying to escape." So I stand, walk to the window, stare out at the street below like the city lights can drown out the sound of her voice breaking. By the time she hangs up, I've rehearsed 100 different versions of walking out the door. But when I turn, she's standing there, phone dangling at her side, eyes wide and wet, and so damn lost it knocks the air out of me. "He wants to talk," she whispers. "He says he can change." Every muscle in my body goes taut. "And what? Do you want?" She opens her mouth, closes it, looks at me like she's drowning and I'm the shore, and for one terrible, perfect second, I think she's going to say you. But then she whispers, "I don't know." And just like that, the floor tilts again. Morning comes slow, gray light filtering through thin curtains. The storm's gone, but the air feels heavy, like the world's holding its breath. I wake before she does. Her head still on my shoulder, hair a tangle against my sweatshirt, breath warm against my chest. She looks small like this, peaceful almost, like last night didn't happen. But it did. God, it did. And now there's no going back. For a long moment, I just watch her, every detail carved into memory, the curve of her jaw, the way her lashes rest against her cheeks, the faint crease between her brows like even in sleep she's bracing for something. My phone buzzes on the table. The sound feels like a gunshot in the quiet. I reach for it fast, trying not to wake her, and when I see his name on the screen, my stomach knots. Him. 2 words flash up under his name. Coming home. My chest goes cold. No time. No warning. He's hours away, maybe less, and when he walks through that door, everything changes. I shove the phone in my pocket, heart pounding, and for one insane second, I think about lying. About deleting the message, pretending we have more time. But that's not fair. To her, to me, to what we almost were. Her eyes flutter open, slow and hazy, and when they find mine, she smiles. Small, soft, the kind of smile that could wreck a man. "Morning," she whispers, voice still thick with sleep. And for a heartbeat, I let myself have it. The illusion, the warmth, the way her fingers curl in the blanket like she's reaching for me even in dreams. Then I break it. Because someone has to. "He's coming back," I say, and the words sound like shrapnel in my mouth. Her smile vanishes. She blinks once, twice, like maybe she misheard me. "What?" "Just texted me." My throat's tight, every word dragging, like barbed wire. "He's on his way." For a second, she doesn't move, doesn't breathe, just stares at me like the ground's giving out beneath her feet. Then she sits up fast, dragging the blanket with her, hair falling in her face. No. She presses her hands to her head, fingers twisting in her hair like she can hold the panic in. "He wasn't supposed to. He said he wouldn't." I know. I push up, reach for her, but she flinches back like my touch might burn. And maybe it would. Maybe it already has. "What do I do?" she whispers, voice breaking. "What the hell do I do?" My chest feels like it's splitting open, because the answer's right there. Come with me, stay with me, choose me. But I can't say it. Not when I see the fear in her eyes, the war tearing her apart. So instead I say, "You do what you need to do, whatever that is." Her head snaps up, eyes blazing, wet with something that isn't rain this time. "Don't do that." "Do what?" "Act like you don't care," she spits, voice sharp but trembling underneath. "Like this, like last night, meant nothing." "Nothing?" My voice cracks, rough and raw. "You think I kissed you in the rain because it meant nothing?" "Then say it," she whispers. And God, she looks like she's breaking right in front of me. "Say you want me to stay. Say it, and I will." The room feels too small, the air too thick. Because here it is, the moment everything tilts, and my heart's pounding so hard I can barely breathe. "I want you," I say. The words torn from me like a confession, jagged and holy all at once. "I've always wanted you." Her breath catches, her whole body trembling, and then she's moving, closing the space between us, kissing me like she's trying to burn it into memory. It's fierce, messy, salt on my lips from her tears, and I hold her like she's air and I've been drowning for years. When she pulls back, her forehead presses to mine, and her voice is a whisper that shatters me. "Then don't let me go." And I swear, I almost promise her the world, but then her phone lights up on the table. His name this time. 1 minute away. Everything inside me goes silent. She sees it too. I feel her breath hitch against my cheek, feel her body go rigid. And in that silence, I know. We both do. "I can't," she chokes out, voice splintering. "Not like this. Not yet." The words are a blade, but I don't flinch. I just nod, because what else can I do? "Okay." Her hands fist in my shirt like she's trying to anchor herself, and for one wild second, I think she'll change her mind. That she'll grab my hand and we'll run, consequences be damned. But then she lets go, steps back, and the space between us feels like a chasm I'll never cross again. The door opens before I can even breathe. He's there, smiling, oblivious, dropping his bag like nothing's changed. Like the world didn't just tilt off its axis, and God, she's good. She wipes her cheeks, pastes on a smile, and walks straight into his arms. I stand there, every muscle locked, tasting blood where I've bitten my tongue. And when he hugs me, claps my back like we're brothers, I don't break. Not on the outside, but inside. Inside, I'm nothing but fire and ash. I leave an hour later. No fight, no scene. Just a smile that feels like splinters and a promise to catch up soon. She doesn't walk me out. She doesn't have to. I can feel her watching from the window as I cross the street. Every step tearing something out of me I'll never get back. When I hit the corner, I stop, just for a second. The rain's gone, the sky pale and empty, and all I can think is how last night feels like another life, a dream I'll wake from any second. I look back once, just once. She's there, behind the glass, hands pressed to the pane, eyes wide and wet and full of everything we never said. And then I turn, and I walk. Because sometimes loving someone means leaving before you ruin them, even if it ruins you instead. The rain starts in the late afternoon, soft at first, like fingertips drumming on glass. By the time we step outside, it's a downpour. Sheets of silver cascading from the sky, soaking everything in seconds. She laughs when the first cold drops. Hit her face. A sharp, surprised sound that cracks through the tension like lightning. And God, that laugh. It does something to me. Something I can't undo. "Are you insane?" I shout over the roar of the rain as she bolts down the steps, hair plastered to her cheeks, shirt clinging to her like second skin. "Probably," she yells back, spinning in the middle of the empty street, arms outstretched like she's daring the sky to break her. I can't help it. I follow. The rain hits me hard, cool needles against overheated skin, but I don't care. Not when she's standing there like that, wild and reckless, like the version of herself she used to be before he dulled her edges. "You're out of your mind," I say, laughing now too, and she turns to me, eyes bright, water dripping from her lashes like diamonds. "Maybe I need to be," she says, softer this time, and something in her voice pulls me under. I stop. Just stop and look at her, really look, and it's like the world falls away. The streetlights blur through the rain, glowing halos around us, and she's standing there barefoot, hair tangled, shirt clinging to every curve, and all I can think is, this is it. This is the moment. The point of no return. I take a step toward her, then another. My heart is a drumbeat in my throat, loud enough I'm sure she can hear it. "Why'd you come?" she asks suddenly, voice barely carrying over the rain. I freeze. She's watching. Me, eyes wide, searching, like the answer might save her, or destroy her. I swallow hard. "Because you said you needed me." Her breath catches. One shaky exhale, and then, what if that was a mistake? The words hit like a gut punch, but I don't back down, not now. "Was it?" She blinks rain from her lashes, jaw trembling. "I don't know." God, that undoing in her voice. I can't take it. I close the last of the distance between us until we're so close, I can feel the heat of her, even through the rain. My hands ache to touch her, to ground myself, but I hold them at my sides because if I touch her now, I won't stop. "You're not a mistake," I say, my voice low, rough. "You never were. You never could be." Something flickers in her eyes then. Fear, hope, both at war. And before I can read it, she grabs my shirt in both fists and yanks me forward. The kiss is like a storm breaking. Hard, desperate. Months, years of everything we never said crashing into this single moment. Her mouth is hot and urgent against mine, and I'm gone, just gone. My hands find her waist, then her back, pulling her flush against me as the rain pours over us like we're being baptized in our own ruin. She tastes like rain and salt and something sweet I'll never recover from. And when she makes that sound, soft, wrecked right against my lips, I swear I'd burn the whole damn world to keep it. But then she's pulling back, gasping, eyes huge and wild. I can't. My chest heaves, every nerve screaming, but I let her go, because I have to, because if I don't, I'll lose her completely. She steps back like she's afraid of herself, arms wrapping around her torso. This isn't fair," she whispers, rain streaming down her face like tears. "Fair?" I laugh, broken and sharp. "You think any of this has been fair? Watching him break you while I cut myself off before the words spill. before I tell her everything. She stares at me, water dripping from her lashes, lips swollen from the kiss we shouldn't have shared. "You should hate me," she says. "Hate you?" My voice cracks. I take a shaky step forward, close enough that I can see the raindrops trembling on her mouth. "I could never hate you." Her chin trembles, and then the words tumble out, raw and shaking. "I'm scared." That undoes me. Not the kiss, not the rain. Those two words, small and fragile, like she's handing me the pieces of herself and praying I won't drop them. I close the space between us slowly this time, my hands lifting to frame her face, thumbs brushing the rain from her cheeks like it matters. "Then be scared," I whisper, my forehead resting against hers. "Be scared with me." For a long moment, we just stand there. Her breath mingles with mine, shaky and warm, and the rain beats down like applause. My heart feels too big for my chest, too wild for my ribs, and I know, God, I know, I'm already gone. "I've loved you," I whisper, before I can stop myself. "Longer than I should have. Longer than I'll ever admit again." Her breath stutters, and I feel it against my lips. 1 heartbeat. 2. Then she whispers, "Don't say that." "Why?" My voice cracks on the word. "Because it's true? Because I don't know what to do with it," she says, her voice breaking like glass. I close my eyes, because if I look at her now, I'll drown in her. "You don't have to do anything," I say softly. "Just don't go back to him. Please." Her hands come up then, slow, trembling, and press against my chest like she's trying to memorize the shape of me. "I don't want to," she whispers. "God, I don't want to." And for one fragile, impossible second, I let myself believe that's enough. We walk back in silence, rain-soaked and shivering. Her fingers brush mine once, accidental maybe, but I hold on like it's the only thing keeping me upright. Inside, everything feels louder. The hum of the fridge, the creak of the floorboards, the sound of my own pulse. We peel off wet clothes, in silence, tossing them in the dryer. She disappears into the bedroom and comes back in an old sweatshirt that swallows her whole, bare legs flashing pale beneath the hem. We curl up on the couch under a blanket, both of us damp and trembling, and the quiet feels like a living thing. I can feel the heat of her thigh against mine, the brush of her hair against my shoulder, and it's torture. Sweet, exquisite torture. Finally, she whispers, "What happens now?" I turn my head, and she's looking at me like she wants an answer. I don't know how to give. "Whatever you want," I say, and it's the truth. Always that. Her eyes soften, and for a second I swear she's going to kiss me again. But then she looks away, pulling the blanket tighter. "I'm so tired," she murmurs. "Sleep," I say, even though every cell in my body wants her awake, here, pressed, against me until the world ends. "I'll be right here." And when she rests her head on my shoulder, eyes fluttering shut, I let out a shaky breath and tell myself this is enough. But God, it isn't.